Welcome, everybody, to our next episode of
Life in Stereo with your host Steven Stone and co-host slash gopher Steve
Right.
Gibbons.
I'm only here to make him happy.
To
He wants every guest in the world. Steve, can we get Rush? Can we get? I'm like, dude.
I
But we love Steve here. Uh, Before we start and introduce our special guest today, we just want to talk about our agency, and we're coming to you live from the Individual Advocacy Group, Bloomingdale, Illinois, Day Training Center. Steve comes here Monday through Friday for services. I'm a 20-year plus employee. And our website is www.iagcares.org, and it'll tell all of our fans about we service disabled adults throughout the state of Illinois, Springfield, Peoria, all over the place, also into Maryland and Washington, D.C. We're such a large organization. One of my jobs is fleet manager. We have 110 vehicles. That kind of gives you an idea of how many people we help.
and for those that are curious, September 3rd is the Arrowhead Golf Course golf outing. We would appreciate the donations if needed.
Yes, we just, if you go to our website, there's a place where you can donate, and we'd appreciate that. And there's also a place people can sign up for the September 3rd golf outing, annual golf outing at the Arrowhead Golf Club in Wheaton. So we'd appreciate that. We got a good turnout every year, and we're looking forward to another great day. We're also proud to be sponsored by Mike More Miles of Romeoville Auto Repair, located 652 North Independence Boulevard in Romeoville. Call my friends, our friends, right?
Yeah.
Nick, Melvin, owner Enzo at 815-886-5700 for all your auto service and repair needs.
Although you probably go in there more than I do.
Probably, yes. But now I got a brand new car, so I'm not going anywhere.
You gotta
Our oil change, their oil change is $39 plus tax, 5 quarts. Synthetic oil, $69 plus tax, up to 5 quarts. Tell them Steve and Steve from Life in Stereo sent you, and they'll take good care of you. Today, we'd like to welcome our special guest to our show, Chicago area musician. He's a singer, drummer, and according to Dina, our friend from the Yacht Rockettes, an all-around nice guy, Mr. Pete Durbin. Pete, welcome to our show. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, Steve and Steve. I'm really, really excited about this. I will take any opportunity to talk music with a couple of fellow fans.
All right, that's awesome. And just so everybody knows, Pete is the lead singer in the Ozzy/Black Sabbath tribute, No More Tears, here in the Chicago area, and the drummer for the Alanis Morissette tribute, Jagged Little Pill.
Yeah.
Now, I've seen you guys, obviously, and I haven't seen the Alanis Morissette. I've never been a huge fan, but I do hear and read, anybody that's gone and seen them, that it's a great project.
I believe
Speak very highly of it, people do.
I believe earlier, like last year, was the 30th anniversary of the Jagged Little Pill album, I believe.
You are right. And for
30.
both the 25th and 30th
20
anniversary,
25th.
we played the album front to back, every
Okay.
song. Most shows we do most of those songs anyway,
Listen,
because those are the songs people know.
I appreciate Alanis Morissette, but I'm not really like diehard like some people.
Yeah.
I'm kind of right there with you, Steve, to be perfectly honest. I have massive respect for her as an artist, but
Yeah.
it's not what I ever listened to. And how it got started is a friend of mine named Melissa Molden, great singer, Chicagoland area singer, has been in a lot of cover bands, wedding bands, and it was always her dream to do an Alanis tribute. She's got the look, she's got the vibe, and she's like, I just never found a band who would want to do it. And
What is your favorite song of hers to do? Just curious.
Oh man, well I gotta tell you, what makes it so fun is her live drummer on the Jagged Little Pill tour was Taylor Hawkins.
Really?
So
Nice.
when I'm learning the material as a drummer, I'm basically replicating Taylor Hawkins live performances, which
Okay.
any drummer would love. I would say
she had Flea on bass for You Ought to Know. So
She sure did. Yeah, and Dave Navarro as well.
Dave
On
Navarro, really?
Oh yeah. Oh no, they hooked her up with some really good people, but I'd say one of my favorite ones to do, it's the closing proper track on the album called Wake Up. And when they do
Okay.
that one live, um when they did do it live back in the 90s, Taylor just got to go off. And so I kind of get to just go off and it's really,
Nice.
really fun.
Because
But
me personally, I have a
I'm
couple.
gonna have to go see that band.
Because for me,
oh, we
me personally, I have a couple. One is
yeah,
Hand in My Pocket. That's one.
That's a
great.
good song, great song.
Two, Ironic. Three, You Ought to Know. That's the proper order for me.
Okay.
Oh, I mean,
Now
those are
let's
great choices.
let's spin back a little bit before we continue. But one thing I've read about and know about Pete from his Facebook page and everything, big family guy, and your sons are involved in music. And
Yes.
recently, you guys attended the Rush show together. So,
Hey,
Oh,
yeah. So
yes.
tell us about your family and their
Oh my goodness.
music.
Well, my wife is a saint first and foremost to deal with three very loud men in this house. But yeah, the twin boys who just started high school this week, 14 years old, and
Wow.
they have just been naturally into music. It was you never forced it upon them. It was just around, and they took right to it. And my son Ian is a great drummer and is picking up guitar now as well. My son Eric has been playing piano for a while and is now getting into different key and sample technologies, and he plays trumpet in the school jazz and marching bands. So
and
really well-rounded kids, and he's even they're both writing some original songs with a band of theirs.
and
All kids.
Wow.
where are they attending school?
Riverside Brookfield High School. They just
Okay.
Wow.
started.
Nice. Right by the zoo.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
we can hear the lions roar from our house. But
Oh,
yes,
nice.
it's
Okay.
yeah, and so really, really proud of them, and it's
What's the
been
name of
nice
their
to.
band, Pete?
Their band is called Dual Decimator. They
Dual
do have a
Destiny.
Facebook page. And yeah, they have several block parties. They're playing our block party tomorrow, actually. But
Nice.
really excited
Hey,
that
And
they
then
have. Mhm.
you guys as a family, probably early on, you've brought them to, other than Rush, but probably a lot
Yes.
of other concerts, right? I'm assuming.
We have their very first concert when they were like 6, almost 7 years old. They were both obsessed with the band Walk the Moon with the big
yep,
song Shut Up and Dance.
yep.
We brought them to a Walk the Moon concert. It was good because they were an opening act, and so it was only like a 45-minute set, and the kids were pretty much done after 45 minutes. So
Yeah,
it
at
worked
that
out well.
age, right? Perfect.
But as they got older, started hitting 10, and now they're 14. We've taken them to see a lot of stuff. Foo Fighters, Metallica,
Ooh, ooh.
AC/DC, Fallout Boy. My one son was really big into them for a bit. My one son went to Weird Al at Riot Fest. My other son went to System of a Down at Soldier Field.
Oh,
So
nice. Wow.
21 Pilots is one of my son's
Okay.
favorite bands. So they've seen a good variety of stuff. They're not so much into the pop stuff. They make fun of me when I listen to like Chapel Roan or Lady Gaga or something like that. They're like, "What's wrong with you, Dad? We thought you were a
Which,
rocker."
funnily enough, she was just in The Devil Wears Prada 2 when that came out.
That's right.
That's right. That's right. No, I
We're
actually love Lady Gaga. So, but yeah, we try to be well-rounded, but the kids are rockers. That's what they've really taken to.
That's great for 14. That's quite a few
Oh,
shows. Yeah.
Oh
and
yeah.
before we move on, I wanted to get your opinion on Neil's replacement. What's her face?
Annika Niles.
Thank you.
First of all, seeing them in concert with my boys in Toronto, of all places, was just amazing. And Annika is a brilliant drummer. I am so happy they picked her. I could get into all the reasons why I think she's the right fit, but
But
she's amazing, and I wouldn't even want to see him with anybody else at this point.
That's cool. I am lucky, Pete. I can tell the story.
yep.
I'm so old that I got to see Rush as an opening band
Oh
with the
wow.
drummer John Rutsey. So,
Wow, you saw oh my gosh, that's
yeah,
impressive because Neil was pretty much in the band by the time they were touring the States. So
this
that's
was like the first album had just come
yeah.
out.
Wow.
They were open. I can't remember who was the middle band. You know, the Aragon always had triple bill. I think it was like Kansas or somebody, and then the
Sure.
headliner was Rory Gallagher, who I'm
Oh,
just
sure.
you've heard of, one of the greatest guitar players
Oh
ever.
yeah.
But tell us about your early influences and musical journey.
Oh my goodness. Well, I mean, I very much came up in the, late 80s, early 90s were my formative years for music. And I was into all the Def Leppard, Bon Jovi, Motley Crue, Guns N' Roses, the rock music of the day. Was a little resistant to alternative grunge at
Oh,
first because I was like, I don't know about this Nirvana and Pearl Jam. They're ruining my Motley Crue and all that.
Yeah,
But in time, I just came to respect anything that's a well written
sure.
song and broadened myself a bit. And I love Pearl Jam. Actually, another band that I play in, although not as frequently, it's called Super Unknown and 10 Chicago. We'll either do
Okay.
all Chris Cornell or Pearl Jam stuff as well. So that's another
rest in peace, Chris Cornell. We
Okay.
love you, but
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
speaking of which,
but
I
I
think
love that stuff. And
if
I've
I'm
always been, a rock guy at the core.
if I'm not
Can't, yeah.
mistaken, 10 is just celebrating an anniversary this year too.
35 years. You're absolutely right.
Nice. I told you when I wrote you asking you to come on, I said he's got all the, you
I
know,
I
obscure facts.
I love it, and I'm serious, Steve. At the end of this, I'm going to see if I can stump you on something.
Good. Okay. Uh-oh, that's a challenge. Now,
Especially if it's Aussie related.
Oh yes.
which came first, the jagged little pill or no more tears?
So Jagged Little Pill is now going on almost about 8.5 years as a band. So that came
Oh,
first.
okay.
I was in another project at the time and wasn't really looking to expand. My kids were younger, so I was just kind of dipping my toe back into playing music, and I started going to this great open jam series called Andrew Blake's Monster Jam. Look that up if you're a music fan, and everyone he does them all around Chicagoland. But made some friends at these jams and
Okay.
connected and reconnected with some people. And Jagged Little Pill was literally born out of that. And we weren't sure what it was going to be. Started by playing a few like, tribute nights in Chicagoland and random shows here and there. But um, through a combination of hard work and right place, right time, we've now taken this band to 10 different states. Uh,
Wow.
Playing all sorts of beautiful theaters, being part of some great multi-band lineups, and I'll give a lot of that to our amazing front woman Melissa, who really just can deliver the show in such a way that people, even if they're not an Atlantis fan, go, that might not have been like what I thought I'd be seeing or listening to, but my God, that was a great show, and we're so happy about that.
And you guys have a big show coming up October 16th, 2026 at the Rouse Center in
Yes,
Crystal Lake at 8 p.m. That's a
yeah.
nice theater.
Beautiful theater. We have a few theater shows coming up. We have that one, and then we'll be on the other side of Chicagoland at the Lyric Theater in Blue Island,
Oh, yeah.
October
Oh,
Cool.
24th.
Awesome.
And just this upcoming Thursday, the 27th, will be in the village of Addison, actually, not too far from you all in Bloomingdale, as part of their Thursday night Rock and Wheels concert series.
Oh, is that coming up this Thursday?
This Thursday, the 27th, the popular 80s band 16 Candles
Oh,
is
yeah.
playing, and
Okay.
we're their special guest to kick off the night. And then we're at the Broken
Oh,
Oar in Port Barrington next Friday, the 28th.
all
hey!
right.
See.
That's cool. Awesome. Now tell us, before we talk about No More Tears, tell us the other band members in Jagged Little Pill.
Yes. So our front woman is Melissa Molden,
Okay.
full-time musician, mother, amazing singer, amazing stage presence, and really the whole reason of doing this Alanis band and that we're all doing it is because of her. I would
Okay.
have never chosen to go look for an Alanis tribute band to play in, but it was her vision. And if there's one thing I learned is you follow the lead of a great front person who's got a great vision for a band. And if they
Sure.
can sell it and we can be there as their backing band to help them sell it and
Mhm.
give them something to work
I
with.
just need
That's yeah. So and I have several other great musicians making this band sound good. Sam Ron Baker, he's our utility guy, does all sorts of guitar sounds and keys and harmony vocals. Chris Ricardo on lead guitar, Rob Farina on bass, and myself on drums, and we have several other people who have jumped in when somebody can't make it. That band has probably had like three different substitute drummers, several substitute guitar and bass players. Because we got to make it happen if someone's unavailable. So it's a great, it's a
Sure.
great big family and cast of people making the band happen.
That's cool. I think I'm gonna try to pop by on
That'd be great.
Thursday. We're in Bloomingdale on
Yeah.
Lake Street, by the way.
Oh,
So
sure.
it's like 2 minutes away and I'm
Oh,
over
that's
in
perfect.
Madison. Yeah.
Yeah, we play at 6:30 before 16 Candles. So yeah, if
Okay.
you've got time, come on by. And
I
sometimes we'll
will.
throw in some other Women of Rock covers in
Okay.
addition to the
Joan
Alanis
Jett,
stuff.
that kind of stuff.
Probably more 90s-ish stuff. So
Oh,
think like
so
Melissa Etheridge, Cranberries, that
Okay.
kind of stuff.
I'll pop by and say hello and
Cool. That'd be
uh,
great, Steve.
thank you. Introduce, how did you guys form the Ozzy? Who are the band members? And then I'm going to throw it
Sure.
over to Steve.
Okay. Well, that happened on a lark.
Good.
So one of my very good friends and the singer in the Chris Cornell Pearl Jam thing I do, his name is Chris Bobrowski, goes by C Bob for short. Longtime area musician, used to be the bass player in Hairbangers Ball. He's in all sorts of
Hey,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
we had
one of our
one
former
of our
guests,
first
yeah,
shows
was
was
Hairbangers.
Brian
Yeah.
Oh,
Durbin.
cool. Brian. Yep. Another Durbin. Yeah,
Nice
exactly.
guy, yeah. No, no
But
relation,
And
right?
no,
ironically,
not that we've chatted briefly, no relation that we know of. We could be seventh cousins or something. Who knows?
yeah, and ironically, Hairbangers actually played in my area for Friendship Festival.
Okay, they
Oh,
play
great.
all over, don't they?
Yeah, very, very fun band. But yeah, Chris, aka C Bob, had a milestone birthday celebration and had an open jam where a lot of friends were invited to kind of play in an open format. And I decided I was going to surprise him, and I roped in some friends to be my backing band. I was going to dress up as Ozzy and come.
Okay,
I did the song "No More Tears," which is my personal favorite Ozzy song.
okay,
One of my favorite bass lines, by the way.
Oh, it's so
of
good. He
course.
loves playing that so much. So he basically said to me, he goes, "You need to do that again as a full show sometime, and I want to be your bass player." So I had kind of a rotating lineup of people that I was asking to be in the band, but eventually Chris was like, "I really want to be in this band with you, and I want to play bass." And I said,
Okay.
"Absolutely." So he's my partner in crime in this band now, and we the goal is to maybe do this 2, 3 times a year for fun. And that's kind of what we were doing, but we've had a bit of an uptick just because it's so fun to do and people love Ozzy so much. And there are some other Ozzy tributes in Illinois.
Little
But
Ozzy being one.
Yeah, there
who's
are
that?
a number of them.
Little Ozzy being one.
Oh yes, Little Ozzy's a riot. I don't know where he's based out of, but very, very fun.
Well,
But really just got lucky to take some good friends and great players to form this project. It's not something I necessarily thought I'd be doing, is actually being a singer. I belong behind a drum set, but I think a few times a year I'll shave all this off for the authenticity, and I'll put on the wig and the glasses and the outfit, and
the
I'll just
bling, the
yeah,
And who are
transform
the
into a
other
complete
band
Red State.
members?
Sure. So yeah, Chris C. Bob is bass player and harmony
Okay.
vocals. Drummer, I want to give a shout out to a guy I had for a lot of shows named Paul Wheeler. Recently we've started working with a guy named Robert Benke, who was in a band called Lava Rock. He's been in all sorts of stuff for years. And guitar, our main guy is John Braun, who comes through, a great guitarist. And I will also occasionally, when John's not available, work with a guy named Dan Banker, who's the lead guitarist in Blackened Metallica tribute. These are
hey,
all
Okay.
amazing, amazing players, all of them, and used a few live keyboardists over the years, but they're hard to pin down and get avails on. So we have been using tracks that a friend has prepared for us
Okay.
of keys when needed. But that's the band, and we are starting to do a few more shows here and there, and
well,
especially there's a great local promoter out of Northwest Indiana named Ed Roseberry, who's for years been putting together tribute to Ozfest themed shows, and he and I have worked on a lot of stuff together. So when he found out I was doing this Ozzy thing, anytime he does a tribute to Ozfest, he always asks me to headline it, which is
Nice. And
awesome.
I saw you guys personally at the 115 Bourbon Street.
Oh, great.
You started the show for Sins and Roses, who we
Yeah.
head
also
on.
had on the show, and
Oh,
they're a
great.
great group of
Great band.
people.
Great band. Yeah.
Yeah, great band too. I mean, the singer is like spot on.
He's amazing, and he's actually I just saw him last week. He's a huge Chris Cornell fan, so we had
Yeah.
a Super Unknown show, and he
Okay.
came to that because he had to get
Okay.
his Chris
Well,
Cornell
Now,
fix.
before we promote some of the shows, Pete, I'm going to turn it over here to our Ozzy
Yes,
super fan, and
I'm ready.
you guys go.
well, the reason I wanted to do an Ozzy show was because earlier this year in July would have been the 1 year anniversary.
Yeah,
Yeah. I cried the day that happened.
a lot of people did.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just shows what he meant to the world that so many people were so touched by the guy. And,
Mhm.
as wild as he was, you
Yeah.
always sensed that deep down inside, he was a humble guy. He was a loving guy. And just the fact of how hard his family mourned him. Not every celebrity gets that loved and mourned by their family because maybe they've ostracized people, they've been jerks,
Sure.
but he was clearly such a loved guy by
Did
so many people. And it was a really hard loss.
It was.
and there's the Back to the Beginning film coming out later this year.
Yes.
So I'm definitely watching that when it comes out because
Oh yeah. Oh, I got it on the pay-per-view, whatever they call it nowadays, the paid live stream.
when the actual thing happened.
Yeah, yeah. I'm like, I got to see as much of this as I can happening in real time. It was so what a way to go out. And
Yeah. Really.
I think James Hetfield and Metallica showed up, didn't they?
yeah, Metallica played. They were basically kind of the co-headliner just under Ozzy and Sabbath.
I mean, who else showed up? Because I'm pretty sure it's
Oh, it was a who's who. They had Metallica,
Crew was
Guns N'
supposed to.
Roses, Tool, Alice in Chains. They had All-Star Jams that Tom Morello was the musical curator for. Um,
Hmm.
and some of the newer-ish bands like Lamb of God, Gojira, Hailstorm, Rival Sons. I mean, it was just Pantera with the revamped lineup was that.
Tyler showed up, I believe, with
Even Tyler crushed it. He was unbelievable.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Maynard
Really.
James Key. Oof.
Now, are you equally an Ozzy or in Sabbath or
I lean a little more heavily on Ozzy solo, and I think it's
okay?
Right.
just my age. It's what I
Like
came up on. The right as I was becoming a hard rock fanatic is when the No More Tears album was breaking big. So
okay,
when I
Like
was up late watching Headbangers Ball every night and watching MTV, buying, 91 was kind of like my coming of age musical year.
was that
And so
was that his first year with Zach?
no, Zach actually joined for the No Rest for the Wicked album that came out in '88. I think Zach was like 19 or 20 when he
jeez.
joined. He
Have you
was
ever
freshman.
seen Zach Sabbath?
I have actually. I saw him with Clutch at House of Blues, and what
Okay,
a cool show! Just a
that
power
is a
tune,
cool show. Yeah, I saw him way
extra.
out in near DeKalb or some. I can't
Oh,
remember.
cool,
A couple
fun
theaters
show.
I've seen them at. I mean, that Zach Sabbath show is just ridiculous. I mean,
Oh, so great! It just works in the power trio format
yeah,
like that. I
it
love it.
really does.
And
Yep.
then
But no,
So
I'd say a little
me
more
being
Ozzy for
older,
you.
I'm more of the Sabbath because I grew up with. I think my dad came home with a box of 8 tracks from the factory he worked at, off the truck, as he told me where he got them, and I pulled it out, and it was the first Sabbath album. I put it in the 8. I'm
Oh,
like, holy cow,
what
what
a
the?
gift! What a gift that is! And I love Sabbath. Don't get me wrong. And
Yeah,
we do. I would say usually about 30% of our show is Sabbath material. There's
okay,
always have to do War Pigs. Can't leave that one. Everyone loves it. Paranoid's usually our encore.
okay,
It's just you got to do it. And
what
then we love doing NIB and Children of the Grave
sure.
in
Oh,
shows. And
fantastic.
we're
Yeah,
introducing a few more for some longer shows, but I would say those are the four that you're most likely to hear. And then Ozzy stuff. Well, Steve, I'll turn it back over to you to ask the
yeah.
question
Go ahead.
too.
Sorry, I jumped in there.
I I really really love Over the Mountain.
Yes, me too. It is the absolute hardest song in the set to sing. And Ozzy, post, I think like 1986, never performed it live because it just simply wasn't in his range. And it is pushing. I do not have a strong vocal range. Again, drummer first and foremost, but Ozzy usually is a sweet spot for me vocally. And that is hard to do to
Did,
hit.
did you ever get to meet Ozzy by himself?
I did not. And actually, a high school buddy of mine, if you remember, there's an old chain of stores called Tower Records.
Yep.
Yeah,
I actually think there was a Tower Records in the Bloomingdale area, and that's where my friend went to a Black Sabbath signing, probably in like 1999 or so, give or take.
Wow.
So I wouldn't say he got to hang out with the band, but he got what you call the grip and grin, where you walk up and
Yeah,
you might get a handshake and an autograph. But I
that's
never got to meet
cool.
Ozzy. No.
That's cool.
And trust me, Ozzy was like he was my childhood man. You don't understand. It
No,
was
I
He
believe you.
might. I think it's yeah, it
Yeah,
sounds
yeah,
like he
no,
does.
like my first introduction to Ozzy was actually through his stuff with Sabbath, actually coincidentally. And then when they came back to do the 13 with him, now that was kind of
Yeah.
you liked
Well,
it or you didn't like it.
it was it was kind of so-so for me though, to be honest.
I'd
yeah,
agree with you.
the back catalog before that is so strong. You know, you can't really.
Yeah, and there were some moments where I almost felt like it was trying too hard. Like Rick
Yeah,
Rubin, the producer, is like, okay, no, this song, this is going to be the Planet Caravan. This one, this is your NIB sounding song. So I felt like it was
yeah.
a little formulaic. And actually, one of my favorite songs from those sessions is one called Methodemic. It was a
Yep,
driving rock song,
yep.
but it was left as a bonus track only. And I think because Rick Rubin thought it didn't fit the vibe, I'm
Oh,
like, but you should
that's
have done that because it actually didn't sound like other stuff. It was a little fresher
I
sounding.
forgot that Rick Rubin produced that record for them.
He did. And Rick Rubin is all about pushing bands to go back to their roots and do things. And I just felt like it was a little formulaic, but I can't say that I didn't like it at all because I mean
Right, right.
it's still Black Sabbath, you know.
Yeah.
So
So, what's your opinion on uh, uh, the j- uh the cross purposes era? Because
oh, so funny enough, the first actual Black Sabbath album, I think CD I bought was Cross Purposes because I heard a song from
Wow.
it on the radio called Back to Eden. And I
yep.
didn't know at the time that, again, I was an Ozzy fan first and foremost. One of those Back to Eden songs pretty good. And I had read that it actually had, Geezer Butler back on bass for those sessions. I'm like,
Bill,
okay, so you've got half a Sabbath. I think I sold the CD at some point. I
I
think I
think
got it and I didn't listen to it much
I
anymore.
think Tony was still there.
Tony was, yeah. Tony was the only mainstay, but he at least had Geezer back for that. And within 3 years they were reuniting with the original with Ozzy, so that
Just
tells you. But I like it, but I really like Dio era Sabbath.
Oh
yes,
Anything
yeah.
with Dio
yes,
on
me
vocals.
too.
All right.
Love it. Even the Dehumanizer from 1992, I thought was
Uh,
fantastic.
is that a really good album? Because I don't think I've ever heard all of it.
I would it's not a perfect album, but I would say at least half the songs in there I think are spectacular. Go listen to one called I, just like the letter I.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
Because I always
That is where you
preferred
start. It is one of the greatest riffs Tony has ever written, and Dio's
Oh,
vocals
we
unbelievable.
gotta hear that.
because I always
Yeah.
preferred the first two.
Oh,
Dio
classics.
and Heaven and Hell and Mob Rule.
Oh, absolutely. Those are amazing, and I think most people would say that's what they gravitate toward. But yeah, I would say
Mhm.
don't sleep on Dehumanizer. Some really
Just
good stuff on there.
Okay.
just don't sleep on Dio in general, dude.
Oh, never. Oh no, never sleep on Dio. I mean, that's I
Because
was
I
sadly never a big enough Dio fan in my life, but I did get to see him with Heaven and Hell right before he passed, which was, Sabbath with Dio renamed two times and just unbelievable.
and I when the Dreamers Never Die documentary came out, oh,
Oh man.
just
Another
No,
sad loss. It's a sad world where we don't have Dio or Ozzy here. It
yeah.
sucks.
ugh.
Being old again, I can tell the story. I saw the rainbow at the Aragon
Oh
Oh,
wow.
with Dio.
Rainbow with Ronnie?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so okay. You've seen some amazing
That
stuff.
might be the loud one of, if not the loudest show. Yeah, I always wanted to come out of the Aragon with my ears blown up, and they
and
did
Oh
it.
wow.
I
and you
mean,
got to remember who was on guitar at that point.
yeah,
It was
Rich,
Blackmore, yeah.
Oh my
Richie.
God, yeah, yeah. I mean, it was. I mean, the super. I mean, one of the greatest super groups ever. I mean, Dio and
I
Blackmore. What a
agree.
combo.
I
Well,
What a combo.
it's
agree.
funny because we were trying to get Vinny's brother Carmine
Yeah.
to do the show, and Vinny played with Dio for ugh.
Yeah, we're still trying to get
Oh,
get him.
Vinny, I
Um,
think. Vinny plays a lot at the Arcada
He
Theater,
does,
he'll come and things, so maybe there's a connection there possibly to
Which
get
they
him.
both do. Carmen comes a lot with that
Yeah.
Rod Stewart band, and
Yeah. Vinny's
Vinny
an
comes.
both amazing drummers. I love Vinny's
Yeah.
style. He's got a great approach to drumming.
and it's funny you mentioned the Arcada because our very first guest we ever had was Ron Onesti.
Oh, okay. No, I'm
So
glad Ron did the show. Yeah, Ron does a lot for
Nice
the
guy.
Chicago music
Yeah.
community, and we're grateful for it.
Now, what's your besides? I know you like No More Tears for the Ozzy. What's your favorite Sabbath song to do? Is that Children of the
I
Grave?
think it's Children of the Grave. Well, I would say it's a toss up between Children of the Grave is great because
It
like
is.
the Headbangers come out, and that is just such a riff. I
It
mean,
is.
it's one of the greatest. So I love doing Children of the Grave, and I really love doing War Pigs. And I know War Pigs, it's a commonly done song. So many people have done their
Yes.
interpretations, but the audience eats it up, and we feel it. So I'd say those two.
to be
Candidly,
honest,
there's a lot of Sabbath songs where Ozzy sings so high they'd be hard for me to do, like Bloody
Sabbath
Sabbath,
being one of
Symptom of
them.
the
Yeah.
Universe.
Yeah.
Ozzy doesn't really
System
do
of the
them.
Universe. Yeah.
Sabbath, whatever. Hole in the Sky was one.
Hole in the
Yeah,
Sky.
another really high vocal song. But we're starting to add like we might do a medley that kind of gets in bits and pieces of some other favorites like Sweet Leaf, Fairies Wear Boots, Iron Man.
Okay.
Actually did an event, a charity event last October to celebrate the life and legacy of Ozzy, and did it and with Lurie Children as the beneficiary from that one in
Oh Lord,
particular.
Lord, ooh,
Laurie's Children's.
Hospital. Yeah.
I think their strongest album to me was Master of Reality. Like
Oh yeah.
every song, start to finish, is
Just-
like strong.
That's what back when you can get away with an album being 33, 34 minutes long, and it was
Right.
you only had, maybe 4 months to write and record and release it in between
Yeah.
touring cycles, and it was well, to use the old phrase, all killer, no filler.
Yeah.
Once they
Right.
start albums that are branching out to 50, 60 plus minutes, it was tougher. But albums like Paranoid, Master Reality, even Volume 4, it's like there's no waste on it.
There's none.
To be-
No waste.
To
Right.
be honest, I always thought Rat Salad was a pretty good.
I love it.
Oh, that's
I
a
mean,
great
when
song.
that's your quote unquote weakest track on the album, you've got a pretty good album on your
You
hands.
got a good album.
And
Yeah.
I heard story because Tony had said that they played Nashville. A fan slit his wrist,
Ooh.
Oh yeah, there was some story about
drew
that.
the inverted cross in blood on the door.
Yeah, there's
Oh,
some
God,
crazy
yeah.
fans out there.
Fans took it way farther than the band ever did. I mean,
Right.
people into people who can't appreciate it for the arts and symbolism that it is, and take it as real devil worship and all that. It's sad when
Right.
people have to take it that far instead of just enjoying the imagery and the music and all that.
Yeah, that's on stage. That's like people
Yeah,
with
exactly.
with the wrestlers. They see Hulk Hogan
Hogan.
through an airport and they think he's gonna like rip his shirt.
No,
It's a character.
it's a character, and it's music, and it's what they're singing about. And
Yeah.
no, they were pretty normal blokes. Well, I guess normal plus a whole lot of partying and,
Yeah.
and drugs
Drinking
and
and-
things,
Well,
but
that-
Rockstar
that
Life will
comes-
do that.
And
Yeah,
one
that's-
of my other favorite stories from that documentary that came out was they were in Beverly Hills doing the Volume 4 recordings, and they had a whole giant fruit bowl.
Oh
just,
yeah.
just
Well,
yeah.
they had
There's
money, and Now you wanted to ask about Randy Rhoads, right, Steve?
Because one of my favorite Ozzy solos is on the very end of Mr. Crowley. Just
Oh yes. Our guitarist John Braun, that's I mean, he plays that solo brilliantly, and it's one of his favorite moments of the show, I know.
it's
Nice.
just
Okay.
sad that Ozzy, just did what he did and
Yeah, people have their own, demons and challenges and
Right.
moments they are and aren't proud of, and they work to come out the other side. And all you can do is hope at the end of the day that people loved and respected you and will remember you forever. And look, Ozzy is going to he is a legend that will be talked about for generations to come, and he'll never be forgotten. And I think that's like all you can ask for.
Right, never. Yeah.
And one of my other favorite moments was when he was inducted on his own,
Hmm.
because Jack Black did his introduction in Cleveland.
Oh, he
Yeah.
was inducted into the Hall of Fame
Rock
on
Hall,
his own.
yeah.
Yeah.
He says that one of Jack Black's first experiences with him was the Blizzard of Oz record from 1980, and just
Great record.
yes.
Now, Pete, can you plug everything Pete Durbin, and we already talked about next.
Sure.
We already talked. You give us the shows coming up for both bands.
Sure. Sure. So the Ozzy band No More Tears, we have two more on the books for the rest of this year. One is Friday, September 25th at Long Grove Apple Fest. That's
Oh,
their
nice.
fall festival. We'll be playing, I think, at 6:30 p.m. on a Friday, right before Kashmir, the big Zeppelin tribute.
Oh,
Hey, we
nice.
had Frank Livingston from Kashmir on.
You'll
Frank,
have to get,
yeah, yeah.
you'll have to get
Frank's
your
been doing
folks
it.
to take you out to the Apple Fest in Long Grove.
Long Grove.
Yeah. Frank's been doing such a great job with Kashmir for many years. And then we have a show a little more off the beaten path in LaPorte, Indiana, Northwest
Okay.
Indiana, the LaPorte Civic Auditorium, Saturday, November 28th. That
Okay.
is a tribute to Ozfest themed show where it'll be No More Tears plus Freak on a Leash Corn tribute,
Okay.
Stupefy, Disturbed tribute, and Rob Zombie tribute as well. So full Ozfest themed day.
And I
Okay.
think the guy from Rob Zombie and Ozzy were buddies too, weren't they?
Yeah, Rob Zombie and Ozzy, did a lot together. I think at one point Zombie got a little annoyed with Ozzy because Ozzy kept poaching his band members. To yeah, Rob Nicholson was Zombie's bass player, and he left to go join Ozzy's band, and then Zombie's drummer Tommy Clufetos also went to join Ozzy's band at one point. So I think Rob was kind of like, Ozzy, you
Oh,
could have anyone you want in the world. Why do you keep
except
stealing my
those two.
guy?
Yeah, why do you take my guys? And then
But yeah, I mean, they're peas in a pod, those guys. Yeah.
the shows for Jagged Little Pill.
Yeah, Jagged Pill, we have a lot coming up. The most immediate are this upcoming Thursday, August 27th at the Village of Addison Rockin' Wheels. And then Friday, August 28th at the Broken Oar in Port Barrington. We have many, many more coming up. Could be here all day, but if you go to our Facebook page, Jagged Little Pill, Alanis Tribute, we always keep our calendar current there and lots of opportunities to come see us.
And the show time for next week, Thursday.
Thursday, we play at 6:30, followed
Okay.
by 16 Candles at 8 p.m. And at the Broken Oar on Friday, we play on 8 p.m.
Okay, 8 p.m. That's a great spot for people to go out to, even if
Yeah,
it's raining or whatever. They have a tent, a big tent.
exactly.
So
Yeah.
there's
Very, very weatherproof now.
very weatherproof now. Yes. Now, before we wrap it up, you had a question for Steve. Are you ready?
Okay.
No, good.
I'm gonna really try to stump you here, Steve.
Oh.
Tell me if this is unfair, and I can come up with a second one. But okay. Part one of this question is during the Ozfest era of like late 90s, early 2000s,
Okay.
do you remember who Ozzy's drummer was during that time?
Was it? Oh,
And he was the drummer all the way till like 2008 or so.
was it Aldridge?
No, Aldridge was earlier days.
That's who I would have guessed it.
That's who I would have thought.
I
Yeah.
would-
So you know what? I'll make this the main question now because part two is going to be unfairly, stupidly tricky. So it's just who was Ozzy's drummer from about 96 to 2008? I'll give you a clue. He also plays drums in another very popular, well-loved hard rock band.
Uh, who was it?
Mike Borden, who
Mike
also was the
Borden.
drummer for Faith No More.
Oh, that's right.
You
Yeah.
know him, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just couldn't think of whoever it was. I couldn't think
That's
Well,
a tough question. Yeah.
because
There you go. That wasn't going to be the tough one. I was going to make an easy, even harder one. Is on the 2000 tour, Mike Borden could not play because he had committed to subbing for Korn. So who did Ozzy bring in as the sub drummer? And that the answer is Brian Tichy, and I would never expect you to get that one. So I'm glad we pivoted to the Borden question.
Now, how come I know that name, Brian Tichy?
Brian Tichy, he's just a really great like session drummer. He's played with a lot of different people over the years.
Okay.
He's like a drummer's drummer kind of guy.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of who else he played with, but yeah, he was a fill-in guy. But Ozzy's had so many people that he played with over the years.
He
Yeah,
has. He has.
yeah, but Mike Borden was his, I think, longest running drummer
I
technically.
mean, if you want to talk about bass players, he had Bob Daisley, who
Oh yeah, which I will say, Bob Daisley I think really got treated unfairly over the years. He wasn't even at Back to the Beginning, but Bob Daisley wrote the lyrics to almost every song you heard in the 80s. And it like Crazy Train, I don't know, Mr. Crowley, I think Bark at the Moon, those lyrics were all Bob Daisley.
Flying High Again was always my favorite.
Ah, such a great song.
Just
Love that one.
oh,
And Bob Daisley was in a band I really liked at one point, Widowmaker. Not
Oh, sure.
not the one with
Dee Snider, yeah.
right, a separate one, and I can't
Yeah.
remember the other players, but they had two very strong albums.
how did Bob Daisley end up with Ozzy? Is my question because
I think when Sharon was helping put a band together, she just found a strong rhythm section, and I think she also wanted people who could help him write because Geezer was the lyricist in Sabbath, so I think Bob
Mhm.
Daisley was an attractive prospect because great bass player, great musician, and he was a good lyricist as well. And so
and I
yeah, I mean, we have Bob to thank for the lyrics to many of our favorite Ozzy songs.
and I think they met I think Ozzy met Randy when he was playing with Quiet Riot, if I'm not
That's
mistaken.
correct. That's
Yes.
correct. An early
Yeah.
version of Quiet Riot. Yeah, absolutely right. And yeah, just put the band together and I think it became obvious early on that Sharon was running this like a business and that it was always going to be Ozzy first and foremost. And I think if, you know, if she and Ozzy liked you, you stayed in the fold for a long time. But if they
And
decided it was time to make a change, they would make a change.
and
And
then I
it
and then
could
I
be ruthless at times, but you know,
Sure.
she was protective of
well
her husband.
True.
her dad was ruthless to
Oh, very much.
Sabbath, yeah. And then
It's in the genes, I think.
and
Yeah.
then I think if I'm not mistaken, Brad Gillis filled in for an album for
He did that.
Ultimate Sin was the album, I believe.
So Speak of the Devil was like
Speak of
a
the
I think a
Devil, that's it.
contractual obligation live album they put out where Ozzy did a full Sabbath set. And
Yes.
yes, Brad Gillis was on guitar for that one. Yeah, they had a guy named Bernie Torme step in right after Randy passed away for a string of shows, and then Brad Gillis did the rest of the tour. And from there on, they moved on to Jakey Lee for the next two albums.
That's right, Jakey.
Bark at the
I thought
Moon.
Brad Gillis did a good job on that record.
Oh, great player, but he also had Night Ranger, was his own
Right.
band doing
Who
quite
was
well at the time.
who was on tour in Gibson City this past week.
Oh, cool. Yeah, they still tour very actively, the Night Ranger.
They'll be playing September Fest and Labor Day weekend in
Yeah,
Shasta. So
absolutely.
believe it
Now,
or
Really?
not. Any final questions for Pete, Mr.
yeah,
Steve?
Um,
I'm sure the answer is yes.
did you ever get to meet any of Ozzy's ex-bandmates at all?
I did not. I sadly didn't. And I would even think that there would be, I'll never say never. I feel like there's always a way that I could meet like Jakey Lee, Phil Susan, maybe somebody of that caliber who might be more attainable these days. But
Who
no,
was
Sure.
sadly, I haven't met anybody from the
who,
band.
who was it that played keys for him whenever they needed it?
So he had a few in the early 80s. It was Don Airy, who now plays with Deep Purple. Uh,
Oh, all right,
Oh,
good.
for
They're
many
playing
years, he
Tuesday.
had a oh yeah, Deep Purple still very active. You For many years he had a guy named John Sinclair, and
yep.
then in his later years he had Adam Wakeman, the son of Rick Wakeman of
Oh,
Yes
yeah,
fame.
Yes.
that's right.
Yeah, and
Okay.
he often would put the keyboardist off stage, I think, just to give it the rock band look of just the four people up
And
there.
I
Sure.
think Dio was like that too, where he had
Yep.
uh who was it? Who was it that Dio had? I'm trying to remember now.
One guy I think he had was named Claude Schnell, but I think he had other people too over the years.
But uh man, I just it's sad because half our generation is going like
Yeah, it
Dio and
just
Ozzy are both
appreciate who we
gone.
have while they're here. See what you can. I mean, again,
Yeah.
I never thought I'd see Rush again after Neil died. But I mean, Getty and Alex they have every right to go back out there as Rush. They built this band
Yeah.
together,
And
and
then
I was surprised. I saw them in Chicago and I wasn't sure what to expect, but they were just fantastic.
and then
yeah,
Really.
my first legitimate concert was at the Tweet or what used to be the Tweeter Center. It
yep,
was Styx, John Waite, and Foreigner, and
that's a good
woo!
show.
He's a big Styx fan.
Oh, Sticks,
Well,
great. You should talk to the guys in the band Anthem or
Yeah,
Anthem's Grand Illusion if you
yep,
haven't.
yeah. I've seen them because they played at Steam Hollow in Mantino.
yeah,
Oh, sure. Yep.
I saw the Styx part of their band. Very good.
Yeah, no, very, very talented group of
Really
players. They do
good.
that stuff really well. But yeah, Styx is great.
Well, we didn't get to meet Ozzy, but today we were fortunate enough to meet Pete Durbin.
Who?
We're
Thank
thankful
you.
for that.
Yep.
And we just want to thank you very much for your time.
I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah,
Thank
it
you.
was really great. And
I appreciate meeting fans.
everybody please go out
And see
next
both.
Thursday, Jagged Little Pill at Addison's Rockin' Wheels. They start at 6:30, followed by who's the
16
band?
Candles.
16 Candles. Correct. Okay. Thank you, Pete. We appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you both. Really appreciate this,
And
guys.
we'll
Take
have
care.
the episode up for you probably by Monday, okay?
Can't wait to hear it.
Yeah. Thanks.
Take
Thank you
care.
very
Thank you
much.
all.